Now, the Trinidad and Tobago International Marathon marks its return this year and will take place this Sunday, January 29th. Joining us to talk more about it is President of the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee and Director and Chair of the TNT International Marathon, Ms. Diane Henderson, and of course the founder of BAFA Sports, Mr. Nigel Bellamy. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on Now. How are you this morning?
Good morning. Great. Start of a new week.
Yes, it is. And of course, the return of the marathon is taking place. But before we get into exactly what we can expect this year, tell us about the marathon. How was it founded? Why was it founded? And just some of the reasons for having this in TNT.
Well, you know, the marathon first started as the Mirror Marathon in 1983. This year is its 41st edition.
Right.
40th anniversary, 41st edition. So Rafiq Shah and that very, insightful team that started the marathon knew what they were doing. So here we are, 41 years later, and we are still inspiring runners and athletes, healthy people to come out and just participate and develop distance running athletes and elite athletes so that we have that representation and allow a platform for competition for them, because it's the only marathon right now in Trinidad and Tobago.
Right. Is it the only one in the region in terms of how big and some sort of the kind of impact it can have?
You know, funny thing is that there's so much more impact that it can make, that it can have, but over the years it has,
right.
And it is still considered one of the most prestigious marathons in the Caribbean.
Yeah. Now I'm coming across to you, Mr. Bellamy, because I know that usually the race started in Freeport, but I understand there's going to be a new route this year.
Yes, that's correct. So this year we're using an out and back route. It starts at the Queen's Park Savannah. You proceed down in a southerly direction to reach the Brian Lara Promenade. And then you go along South Key and you head up to the bus route, which will be closed off from vehicular traffic. Right. It goes all the way up to Pittibouc for the half. The half marathoners will turn there. For the marathoners doing the 26.2 miles, they'll go all the way up to Five Rivers, Aruca. They'll turn there and return to the Queen's Park Savannah. Right. They'll pass a lot of the Woodford Square, they'll pass Victoria Square, they'll pass Napa along that route back into Port of Spain. So there's some opportunities for the public to gather there and cheer the marathoners on and the half marathoners. And we will circulate the various times where you would see the athletes so people will know where to gather and when to gather.
Yeah. Is there also a 5K?
Yes. Yes, yeah. There's a 5K on this Saturday.
On this Saturday.
28th at 4 p.m. at the Savannah alone.
Right.
Goes around the Savannah, starts and ends right there from the top of Dundonald. No, sorry. It starts right at the site opposite TGI's.
No, the 5K?
The 5K.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry, so the 5K would start by
yes,
Sparrow.
it's I've seen. I have so many different versions in my head.
Yes. It starts, this year it starts at Sparrow's statue, which is at St. Anne's Roundabout.
Right, yes.
You proceed around the Savannah, you'll make one loop and about a third, and return and finish at the same point as the half marathon and marathon, which is opposite TGI. Right. That's where everything's going to conclude there. There'll be a race village there as well. Well, I mistakenly said you would pass Victoria, but you're passing Lord Harris Square when you come up to finish the marathon and the half marathon.
Nice. So it's a 5K on the Saturday, and then the half marathon and the full marathon on Sunday.
Yes,
yeah?
Yes.
Now, in terms of the race, I heard it was named Carnival Marathon. Diane, I'm coming to you. Yes. Tell us about it.
So the Carnival Marathon is all about, we've traditionally had it in January for most of the life of the marathon, and it's always clashing with Carnival and with the mother of all carnivals. Why not? We sort of did it before the mother of all carnivals, but we said, well, listen, we must include some aspects of Carnival, whether it just be music or some characters, and this is what we would like to bring back some of that spectatorship and excitement to the marathon.
Yeah. In terms of attendees, can we see athletes coming in from other parts of the region to participate in this one?
Yeah, the Kenyans particularly, who have always come, there may be just one or two, but the traditional onslaught from the Kenya, they're not coming as much.
Okay.
This year, I don't know if it's the travel and how expensive it is right now. So, however, we do have Winsbert, Sylvester, we have St. Lucians and Caribbean athletes coming, possibly Jamaica, and we also have a couple Americans that are coming as well.
Yeah, and of course we can expect to see our athletes participate. Any names you want to tease us with thus far?
They're quite, funny thing is that Curtis Cox was not participating, and I heard from the little birdie that I understand that he has jumped into the race before registration closed last night.
Okay. Registration is closed, so you can no longer apply for any of them, even the one on Saturday?
No, registration is closed.
Wow.
In order to have the efficiency of race number collection and all of those processes that come with having an efficient race, there must be a deadline for registration. Let the timer who has to do his results and preparation do his stuff in order for us to be prepared this week.
Okay, all right. Mr. Bellamy, I'm coming to you. Tell us about some of the prizes that the athletes can win.
Yes, so there are 3 categories. Well, they have the 5K, the half, and the marathon. So each one has a different prize pool. For the 5K, it's going to be $1,000 for the first prize there. For the half marathon, it's $2,000. And for the marathoners, the grand prize is $10,000.
Yeah. Now, I know that Ms. Henderson had mentioned in terms of, getting our athletes prepared and that kind of thing. But before registration closed, if somebody was interested in just participating for participating's sake, just to test their stamina and stuff like that, would you advise it, or is this only open for athletes and those long-distance runners?
Absolutely. The 5K is a very accessible distance. I mean, children could do it. Anybody can do the 5K. The half marathon does require some preparation, so we would suggest you do a block of training maybe 2 months before you tackle that. The marathon does require quite a consistent amount of work, so you probably take about 4 months minimum to train to get up to tackle the 26.2 distance. But yes, I mean, from the 5K, anybody, very accessible, anybody could get in there and take a crack at it.
Yeah, love it. Now, I'm coming back to you, Diane, because I understand that the TTMC, the marathon, they actually donate to certain charities. Can we talk some more about that?
Oh, yes. Since Brian Lewis, past president, started the walk, it is part of the marathon in encouraging the Athletes Foundation donation. We took it upon ourselves to add that to one of our charities. So we have the TTOC, Athlete Welfare and Preparation Fund, as one of the charities, as well as Voice of Lupus Foundation. So lupus is a very weird disease, and not many people understand it or appreciate it, and we really would like to give a voice to it and bring some awareness to the disease. And there are many people out there that are affected with it.
I'm coming to you, Mr. Bellamy. I'm just curious about the relationship between, or how the partnership started between BAFA Sports and, of course, the International Marathon.
Well, my late friend Tony Harford, he had brought me on to help with the marketing of the event. And as Diane says, to increase the spectatorship and to put a little bit more of a theater around it. So the social media bits is where I was particularly strong. So we did a lot of nice graphics and very enticing communications to the public. And we did see the numbers increase year on year. It bore fruit. And we're hoping now, with the pandemic sort of slowed our roll for a bit, but with the pandemic now behind us, we're really hoping to get back to where we started and grow the event into, well, it is the premier marathon in the country, but we want to make it even more so going into the future.
Is it that we didn't have the marathon during the pandemic, or we had like a version of it?
Yes. So very quickly, I decided, in order to maintain the history of the event, it was extremely important to have the last physical in-person was in 2020, and in 2021 we had the virtual, where we had all the races offered to everybody, and they still came out and did it. At least 400 people took part, as well as in 2022, which was the 40th edition. We had a limited in-person event, which had just under 30 people. We would have liked exactly 40, but some people, as you know, with pandemic, and we were just coming out, that's what we had last year. So it was actually an in-person and a closed course in January of 2022 down in Chagaramas, which the athletes really, really appreciated and really, really took on with fervor. You can see that they were so happy to come back out and run and get on the road and compete. So very important for athletes and everybody and all sport to be out there again. So we could not have it. We had to keep that 41. We're the oldest marathon in the Caribbean, and we pride ourselves in maintaining that number. No one is as close to us by at least 2 years.
Mr. Bellamy, you want to add something?
No, I was just thinking as well when you asked the question that one of the areas that we want to explore and keep developing is the green aspect of the race, which we brought on Every Bottle Back this year as a partner to help us retrieve the plastic bottles and do the recycling bit. Because that's becoming a very important part of what we do. Healthy people, but also healthy planet.
Yes.
So that just dawned on me to mention as you were talking there.
Was Ms. Henderson, in terms of, this is the return, right? People are coming back out, they're coming back out physically. But of course, we can't ignore the fact that we are seeing increased cases. I was just wondering how the response has been thus far. Have people registered? Is it that some people are still a bit on the fence in terms of coming out and mixing, since we have that increase in cases that's happening now?
Yeah, the pandemic, you can't get over it. It is what it is. Yeah. It is what it was. And there's lots of people that are still impacted or affected by it, right? So the whole thing about it is I think it will be a little while, but we are still impacted by that. We're still seeing the effects of it in the registration. Yeah. And I don't know if Carnival is part of the issue, but people are also deciding where their money goes, and therefore I don't know, but maybe some people are just holding their funds to go and party because they want to get back into that too. There's a certain need for relief. So
has the numbers been down compared to other years?
In particular, the marathon itself, and so yes, a little bit, but that I'm not worried because new course, new thing, come back out fresh, do what you do, maintain the year. And bring back as Nigel mentioned, next year is going to be a bigger year.
Yeah. Now, I know that this is, of course, called the Carnival Marathon, so you're getting that bit of carnival in it. But what else are you going to offer, the people who come out on Saturday and Sunday? And anybody can take this question.
Yeah.
Well, the idea, again, is to infuse the Trinidad culture into the event.
Right.
It's a unique selling point for us as a Trinidad and Tobago, as a country that is the home of Carnival. Which is why we're staging the event at the Queen's Park Savannah, which is the Mecca for Carnival. It's going to start right in front of the NCC grandstand area there. It's going to finish right inside of the what they call the foyer. What they call it? The foyer, I think they call it. So it's all where Carnival takes place. We were just there yesterday. Junior Pan is happening. There's all the pan around there. The place is themed around Carnival. We're going to have some vendors with local cuisine on site. Giving people a taste of Trinidad culture too. So there's many elements in there, and again, the music is a big part of it. We will have a DJ. We will have music on playing all the various current songs along the course. You'll get these songs as well. So maybe not every 3-4 miles, but you're going to have, while you're running, you're going to hear the music playing as well. So there will be an infusion of Trinidad culture into the event, more so than we've ever done before. So.
Yeah. Would you encourage people to participate, especially in the 5K? Because I know that there's a thrust as well for healthy living, healthy eating, that sort of thing.
Absolutely, that's a big part of it.
That has been one of the objectives of the Trinidad and Tobago Marathon Committee over the years. I mean, it's not only the elite athletes aspect of it, but also continue healthy lifestyles. Understand that your body needs to be taken care of. You need to be moving, so make it a consistent part of habit of your lifestyle. Get out and participate or just move every day. So just coming and participating in the 5K is something that we encourage very much.
And you want to say something?
I just want to add that we have to give a big mention to KISS, who's supported that event for many years.
KISS. I thought you said KISS. I was like, this is a carnival marathon. Is KISS going to be there?
KISS, reach out to us.
I think he's listening. So.
But no, for sure. I mean, their brand is Healthy Balance. They've been supporting us, and again, they are with us again this year. And a lot of their employees participate. They encourage their staff. Quite a large contingent of their staff will be at the event running as well. So,
as mentioned, sponsors. Let me also mention Blue Waters, who has been with us for many, many, many years, supplying the water, and that supporting the voluntary water stops and the volunteers along the course. Very, very crucial for the efficiency of the race and for the runners, as well as the different services, the police, the defense force. All of these services are out, medical, massage. These are all the aspects of the race that people don't recognize. They happen. People make them happen. In order for that athlete to say, I had a good race. Everything came together. You understand? So these are the things that are quite important for the efficiency of the race.
Yeah. And Mr. Bellamy?
Also, as you mentioned, the protective services, we have the Coast Guard also comes on very strong in support of the event. And they are fielding a 2 10-man team, which is a very interesting aspect where you must finish the race together as a group of 10. And they have 2 teams coming in. So we're going to.
Yes, one of the things we did a couple of years ago, it could have been in 2020, our last race, we had the Protective Services prize, a team prize.
Okay.
So they ran the marathon, but they had to do it and finish together. which was very, very, a military fitness exercise to encourage the military to also get fit. So this year, unfortunately, they are, as you say, pandemic affects everything. So they are not doing the marathon, but they're doing it in the half marathon. So the race for them is in the half marathon, which is a lot more amenable to the capability, as Nigel mentioned earlier on.
Yes.
You don't take as long to train for the half, so it's
It's pretty doable.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's definitely doable
Yeah.
for them, and their time is short.
Of course. Now, Ms. Henderson, before we go quickly, just remind us where we can get more information, especially for those who may just want to come out and share the athletes.
Yeah. Well, one, we are doing the registration this year through Buffer Sports,
Right.
as well as the Facebook page, social media, Facebook page, as well as the link is also on our website, ttmarathon.com, and they'll get information there.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, all the best with both events on the Saturday and, of course, the two on
And
the
the
Sunday.
Sunday, yes.
And, of course, all the best. And we look forward to see what else is coming up with the committee for 2023.
So Sunday morning,
Yes.
bright and early, 5 o'clock, or for the walkers, the TTOC walks at 3:30, the
Yes.
walkers, and at 5 o'clock is the full race, 5:30 is the half marathon.
Nice. Good. Thank you again.
Thank
And
you.
of course, that was the director and chair of the TNT International Marathon, and of course, founder of Buffer Sports, Mr. Nigel Bellamy, just sharing exactly about what's going to be happening this Saturday and Sunday with the 5K, the half marathon, and of course, the full marathon. You're on the Now Morning Show. We're going to take a break and be right back. Stay with us.